Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda, Chic777, and today I'm coming at you with a design team project for Reneabouquets. Now this project, I started with a piece that I got at like Michael's or Joann's. It was after Christmas clearance, and I of course saw the potential. It was like a photo holder. I'll move my sign out of the way and show you what I came up with. And then I drew a picture. I should have took a picture, but I didn't. But I drew a picture, no laughing at my picture, of what this looked like when I got started. It looked just like that. No, I'm joking. That's just what I'm going to use to set my project against. So here is my project. So you can get a nice pretty look at that. Okay. So what I started out with, this is like a really thick kind of base, and it's got like these little almost like wood planks on top. And if I turn it over, this is about 2 inches in height. So you can see what it looked like on the front, only they were painted red and white like Christmas colors. Little wood planks basically. And then out of the top, it sat like this. Okay, it sat horizontal. And then out of the top, it had, remember, no laughing, it had these cute little wire things that stuck out of the top where you can put, you know, a photo in. So it was a photo holder. And then on the front, it had this really neat kind of little ornate wood piece. And I had kind of popped that off, and I pulled out these little wire picture holder things. And then what I was left with was these little red and white wood planks. Okay, so I got this paper. Oh, first, let me back to the beginning, or back to the other thought. What I did first is I took Prima white gesso, and you can even see there, that was one of the places I left it, but it was one of the places where the wire came out of there, and there's, right there. You wanted to know that, didn't you? Anyway, I took Prima heavy white gesso, a pouncy brush, and I pounced up and down with the pouncy brush, heat set it in between coats, and I did this process about 3 to 4 times to really give me this pretty like texture. Okay? And then on top of those little wooden planks, I got this paper. It's called Country Rustic. I got it from a place called Craft Warehouse, Country Rustic. And the papers were all these, oh, and let me show you, American Crafts is the brand. And the papers were all these pretty like rustic, like wood grain papers. And brick wall, and a few little, you know, pretty pictures with floor, you know, country wildflowers and stuff like that. But what drew me to it was all these wood plank and brick wall type photos. Okay, and so the paper I pulled out was this one. And so I cut each of these planks, quote unquote, down to fit the size of these little planks. Okay. Onto the front, I cut for each separate plank. And then I distressed the edges and I sewed each one, and then I glued it down. Okay. So that was kind of my base. That's how I started. So let's just kind of go up here and show you everything at a glance. I like how it turned out. I just think it's really pretty. And of course, I made it to sit up vertical. Okay, so it'll sit up like that. Okay, and then what I did, once I glued that down, I did a little bit of stamping. It's a script stamp from my stash. I kind of stamped here, a little bit down here, just to give it a little bit of a soft touch. And then I used Prima Crackle Mask and Prima's modeling paste, and I did that in a few areas up here and down here. And then while it was still wet, I took Prima's mini art stones and I pushed it into that modeling paste just to give it a little bit of that fun texture of those tiny little stones. Okay, and then let me kind of go to the side so you can see how kind of 3D that I got this to be. Okay, so it's pretty 3D there. So what I started with was this beautiful, let me show you 3D this way and this way. I started with this beautiful little resin frame. This came from Renee's shop. This little frame comes in a little 6-piece romantic trinket set. If you go on her thingy and you look under the little trinkets and stuff where you find all the little spoons and all that. This comes in that, and also it comes in her little Always and Forever scrapbook kit. So I laid that down first, and then I cut up some chipboard, because since that was way far off of my next piece, my frame that I laid down was that much far off from the base, I laid some chipboard in there to take up the space. So this beautiful frame that I used is from Prima. It's one of Frank Garcia's newest releases in his memory hardware line. And this is called the Marseille Grand Frame. And let me show you what it looks like this way. Okay, so here it is, resin frame, beautiful resin frame. Okay, and there's about 4 designs, I think. Here is one of the others. This is the, I have to look, Papillon Blanc. This is kind of the same, but in oval. Really big, and I think they're about almost 6 inches in length here. Okay, and this is about 4, I believe. All right, and then this one is the Chantilly Royal, which is just beautiful. It's one of my favorites, but Renee has all these in her shop. Okay, so then I laid that down, and then on top of that, I laid some chipboard. This is from Prima Love Clippings, the chipboard pack. That is in Renee's shop, so I laid down some chipboard here, little bingo card. This was like a little map I cut in half and just kind of layered on top of each other just for some dimension. And I've got a little chipboard piece down here. It says Je t'aime. Okay, love, I love you. Okay, that's what it says, I think. And this piece is that piece that I showed you that was on the front of the wood piece when I bought it. Okay, and so what I did is it was kind of a shiny black, so I just painted it with black gesso. And then I just took some sandpaper and just kind of distressed and sanded the edges a little bit. Okay, and so then I went and started layering flowers and stuff. So these beautiful like pink flowers here. And here, I love the texture of these flowers. These are one of the newest releases, Prima flowers. And I have to look. This package in particular is called Lacy, and it's got the pinks and the whites, the creams. My next design team project coming out will be done with the Page, which is kind of brown tones. So these are Lacy. Okay, and then I layered with some other flowers that came from Renee's shop. It's the mulberry flowers, this beautiful one here. And this one, these tiny little roses, this beautiful one here, this one, this tiny one. Renee has all sorts of packages of mulberry flowers in different colors, and they all come in different size packs depending on how large or small the flower is. You get more or less, you know, they come like set of 12 up to like a set of 20 plus, usually come with leaves, all different varieties. They're variety packs. And the one I particularly use, because these are like my favorite flowers here, it was the Ivory set, and it was the Wildflower and Gardenias pack. Okay. And then I layered this beautiful ivory chiffon flower. You know that came from Reneabouquets' shop, and you get a set of 3. And I love the beautiful gems and pearls. I think I comment on that every time, but you never know if I have new viewers or not. This little spray here is from my stash. This is from Prima. It's the Salvage District collection, so I have that kind of tucked in there. And I liked these because they kind of have a little bit of that green tint, and so they went in with a little bit of green tint on the paper. Okay, and then I also tucked in here one of my favorite Tiny Treasure butterflies from Renee's shop, and this one's called the Sweet Pea. Beautiful pink tone with the glitter glass on there. Beautiful detail in the center of the body with the tiny little beads. It's got silver antenna there. Just gorgeous. Okay, so that was kind of my spray through the center. Okay, then I came down here. This is an old, you know, Prima release, Junkyard Findings light bulbs. It says enjoy. Okay. Over here, this again is another Prima release from my stash, Junkyard Findings. These are industrial lamps. Okay. This is a journaling card from Prima Salvage District, so I've got that on there. And then my little inspirational quote on here, wanted to have that. These are little Tim Holtz little sayings. So basically it was like, today, own your dreams, you are enough, attitude is everything. and then basically enjoy today. I know this more says I love you, but I kind of put it in with the love theme, like love today, you're enough, that, you know, own your dreams. So that's kind of my inspirational quote for this. You know, and I wanted to put inspirational. I've been wanting to do things like this with inspiration on it because, you know, like when you go, that's all popular out right now, and you find those rustic boards and they have inspirational words or quotes on them. Well, I'm kind of trying to do the same thing, but with, you know, a little bit more of a twist to it, a little bit more decor to it than just a plain board. So that was kind of my reasoning why I'm doing a lot of these right now. Okay, and then also from my stash, I put in there these cute little recollection gems. I've got one here, one here, one over here. And then also you can see some, it's really light, but you can see some of this stuff sticking out. This I got at Michael's or Joann's, one of those craft stores, and it's called Sisal. And I got it in like the flower area, right here, Sisal. And I liked it because it was more... what's the word I want to... It looked more earthy, okay? More natural, because, and that kind of went in with me because the wood planks paper in the background. So I wanted it, instead of just being thread wound up, I wanted to use some of that so it was more kind of this earthy feel like the paper in the background. So that was kind of my thought process on that. And then, of course, to tie it all together... you can see this beautiful glitter glass. That is Reneabouquets. I used the one in pink, which is this one right here. It's pink. Reneabouquets chunky glitter glass. Beautiful pink shade. Okay, so I use Prima 3D matte gel. I kind of brush it on, and then I pour the glitter over the top. So I've got some down in here. I've got some here on this beautiful flower. Of course, you know, it matches in with the butterfly that already comes with glitter glass. And then I've got some beautiful, like right in there, you can kind of see the shimmer and onto the board back here. Okay, so I think I got it all. So there is my project. I love how it turned out. You know, I went from this Christmas piece that holds photos to this inspirational home decor piece that sits vertical. Okay, I will have everything down below to Reneabouquets, all the links, and so you can do a little shopping if you wish, or you can go to the blog and you can see close-up photos of my work as well as other artists' work. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.